let's look at how to draw this particular exercise. So usually I'll start with my front view, but today I'm going to start off with my right view. So let me start off with the base. I'm just going to draw the base. And let's get measurements. So the scale is 1:1. Scale is 1:1. So the base, I'm looking at 100. So let me start off with the center line. Okay. And if it's 100, it means it's going to be 50 this side. And it's going to be 50 that side. Okay. Then it talks about 64. That's basically where the diameters of the small circles are going to be. 64, half of 64 is 32. So I'm going to have 32 both sides. Okay, so all these are construction lines for now. I'll darken it to normal. Okay, so the height is 124. That'll be 62. So I'm going to have 62. There, and then 124 there. So that's going to be the height. Okay. And then this was the center. So I'll do a center line there. Okay, so the circles, 88, that will be 44. So let's get a 44. Okay, 44 there, and an 88 there. So that's going to be what the centers for the circles are going to be. Okay, so now let's do this one. Okay. I'm going to take my stencil. So the circles have a diameter of 12. I'll go to the diameter of 12. And then I put it there. Get the first circle. And then go the side. Get the next one. And then See, the boo-boo there. Okay, and there we go. So all 4 circles are there. And then the one in the center, it's 40. So my stencil is not that big. So I'm going to get, if a diameter is 40, that means it's going to be 20. Okay. And then the other one, it's a 60. That means I'm going to get a radius of 30. Okay. Did they talk about the thickness? Thickness. They did not talk about a thickness, especially in the center here. So I'm going to assume an 8. Yeah. I've used an 8 because they didn't tell us how big it is. So I'm going to assume it's an 8. So if they don't give you dimensions, use your own discretion. Okay. So I need to get curves there, and also here. So we're talking about a radius of 18. So let me measure 18. Okay. Center here. Okay. 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 Then I'm going to go here. So they gave us a radius there of 18. Oopsie. Let's measure again 18. I think I messed up there. Yeah. Okay. And then I come this side. Okay. So kind of like messed up this side. So let's fix this side. Let's fix this side. Okay. Got it. Now, let's come here. Okay. Talk about 18. So I need to get 18. So I get the center there. Right. Now that I've got that, all I do is just to darken. So this little ox here, let me see if I can get a small yellow circle, small circle, just to get the ox. So I'm using an 8. Okay, I'm using an 8. Alright, so where else? Well, I'm using an 8 because my thickness, I used an 8. Oopsie. It's an 8. Okay, so now what I'm just going to do, okay, am I done? No, I'm not done. There is sort of like lines there. Okay, and also here. Now they said to us that hidden details, we do not need to draw hidden details. Okay, so I left out the hidden details. Okay, yes, then I think now I'm done with my right view. Now let's look at my. So initially they spoke about, they said we must not draw hidden details, but I just need to measure just that hidden detail to get this side. Okay, so that hidden details, they said the height is 6. So from the top, I'm just going to measure this 5, a 6 there. Then from the bottom here, I'm just going to measure 6 there. Right, so this 6 is actually hidden details, but I'm just going to transfer it to the front view because I need it in the front view. Okay, good. Now in between the front and the right, doesn't matter the gap in between. Does not matter the gap in between. Okay, so let's see. They are talking a 25, a 50, and a 30. 25, 50, and 30. Let's see. 25. A 50. And 30. Okay, so that's basically what they were talking about there. So let me just take it up. Okay. So that thickness is going to work here. And then it's a 13. So let's measure 13. make a 13 there. And then we have a 30 here. And then, what else do we have? We have the center circle and its thickness. So let's start off with the thickness. Okay. And then we go up here. And also there. So all now it's just construction lines. Okay, so now let's start off with, let's talk. So from there to there, it's going to be dark. From there to there, it's going to be dark. And then I'm going to stop here. Okay, so this is just my planning. And then this is going to go all over there to here and to there. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to darken it now. Okay. All the way to there. And then, now remember, I need to plan in such a way that I'm going to cut half. So if I'm cutting it half, or if I'm sectioning it, it's going to go all the way to there. Okay. And then it's going to go all the way to there. Okay. Right. Now, what did I miss? Okay, it's fine. All the way to there. Oopsie. All the way to there. And then let me just get the thickness. Thickness there. Thickness here. Okay. Right. And then let me not forget the outside. Remember, now it's still planning. Okay. Still planning. And then maybe let me just darken this one. And darken this one just for now. Okay. Right. Now, do not forget also I'm just going to darken there. Darken till there halfway. Why? Because we're going to do sort of like an arc there. Okay, we're going to do sort of like an arc there. We need to use 13, the radius of 13. Maybe let's use a 12, it's fine. Okay. Okay. There we got it. Little ox. Little ox. Alright. Then what are we going to do? Remember, all those hidden details must go away. All those hidden details must go away. Right. Then all this is going to go until it touches here, the center, according to our construction lines. Remember, hidden details, what do? They fall away. They fall away. Okay? They fall away. Then this is going to go all the way to the bottom part. Let's just form an arc there. And also here, all the way, I must just form an arc there. Okay, let's just form an arc there. So let me also use the 12. Okay, also using a 12 there. They're not specific, but as long as it's arced, like as long as it has sort of like a curve. So they don't tell you how much it should be curved, but yeah. And then let's finish off with the whip according to the given view. Right. Now that we have the outside kind of part, now I'm going to section now. Remember they said they want a fully section. They want a fully sectioned. And remember we use, what do we use? We use 45 degrees that square for full section. So we're going to section this part. Section that part. This we're going to leave out, and also in the middle we're going to leave out. And we're going to leave out the webs. Okay. So let me start off. Sectioning takes time, guys, so you must be patient. What I usually use, I use my T-squared to actually get the 5 millimeters gap, 5 millimeter gaps. Right. At the end of the day, are we done? Yes, we are done with our sectioning, full sectioning of the front view. And then our right view looks like this. But they said to us that we must have title and scale centrally beneath. Centrally beneath. So now I'm going to measure 7. Remember it is 7. The title, the gap is going to be 3 to 3.5. I mean 2.5 to 3, and then the title and the scale is going to be 3.5. Okay, so my title and my scale is going to be smaller than my height. Then my title. So what is the title? Pipe clamp. Remember, it is capital letters. Okay, pipe clamp. The scale is 1:1. Then we write the scale. Okay. Then what else? They said that we must do the symbol. Okay. So let's do the symbol. I just need center line. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't really matter how big it should be, but I usually use 6. I usually use a 6 and a 12. So 6 inside, and then I use a 12 big diameter. Okay. Just do that, do that, do that, and do that. Then life is going to be easier for myself. Then we start off with the small one inside, then a big one outside. Then we join them, we just join them. And there we go. That is rounded angle, symbol, our title and scale, our front and our right. Now this is how I'm expecting you guys to actually draw it at the end of, or should I say the answer should look like.